This week, we continue our special two-part profile of our colleague, Charles Krauthammer. Charles shares his political views in his column on Special Report, and now in his new book, Things That Matter. But he rarely opens up about his remarkable private life, which has confined him to a wheelchair. Here's our Power Player of the Week.
It didn't change the trajectory of my life. That's the vow I made to myself when I was in the hospital afterwards.
Charles Krauthammer is talking about his terrible accident 41 years ago, the devastating injury he sustained, and his determination not to let it define him.
Getting around is harder. It takes a little longer, a little more effort. But I would say, if you were to look at my story, it hadn't changed it.
These are the last pictures of him standing on spring break in Bermuda in 1972, during his first year at Harvard Medical School. 2 months later, he was back at school diving into a pool one day when he hit his head on the bottom and severed his spinal cord, instantly paralyzing him.
I knew from the second I was hurt, because I was in medical school, what had happened, why it happened, and what it meant for the future.
He had set 2 books by the side of the pool, one on the anatomy of the spinal cord, the other, Man's Fate by Andre Malraux. And Charles was quick to accept his fate.
The best thing I had going for me is from the first day I had no hope. And no hope is a redeeming thing. I knew what life would be like, and I either accept it or you don't.
But his idea of acceptance is not like most people. While recovering for the next year in the hospital, he continued his studies, and he finished med school near the top of his class, right on time.
11:30. Given directions.
These days, Charles drives around Washington in a specially designed minivan. He accelerates and brakes with his left hand and steers with his right. He writes columns and essays, and of course, offers opinions almost nightly on Special Reports.
Who said if you have your plan, you keep your plan. Period is absurd.
And after the show, he goes to watch his beloved Washington Nationals. Is there anything that you ever get sad about that you can't do?
I'd like to play tennis again, or water ski, or the things, but yeah, you also grow up. There are elements of life that I miss out, but there never was sadness.
And that may be the most remarkable part of this story. More than old Charles has accomplished in all he does in a wheelchair. There is not a trace of self-pity, not a bit.
Everybody has their cross to bear, everybody. The cross I bear is pretty obvious, but on the scale of things, it ranks somewhere way below the top. You got 2 choices now. You're either going to live a good life, or you're going to live a miserable life. And that, to me, was a very easy choice. Although his accident has kept him off water skis, Charles was able to pursue another passion, chess. That is, until he became so addicted to the game, he says he forced himself to give it up. And that's it for today. Have a great week. And we'll see you next Fox News Sunday.
Fox News Sunday is a presentation of Fox News.